of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everybody have a chance to look at the agenda for today?
Trying to do either, then I can go online, so.
We can go ahead and look at minutes for last name and
Yeah, I'll run here, so.
see if maybe. Yeah, really, I think it would, was everything I knew was supposed to be in there. Entertained motion to approve minutes, so for February 6th. I second that, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Yeah, I'm just saying, it looks like you these guys should have.
Mark.
Yeah,
just have committee reports. I didn't have any committees last week. Did you have any?
No, I guess, we just testified. There's a copy of my testimony.
Oh, right here.
Randy Duncan from Sullivan County. Kimberly, what's her name? Coffee County, the big,
Gilman.
yeah,
or-
she got three names, yeah,
Mhm.
she testified. Well, I thought one of the better testimonies was Riley County Counselor, because there was an issue that came, that a federal order came down, a federal law came down effective, but they wouldn't have been able to come to the state to get some help or assistance, I feel it would have been a bad situation. Mayor Manhattan was there. Two or three people from municipalities, Trey testified.
Was it Johnson or Wanda County? Yeah, they're.
Johnson County had their county administrator. And there was a lady from Overland Park Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, so Johnson, why didn't have they have their own council, or they have their own lobbyists?
Well, there's several. Wichita, Sedgwick has one too.
Yeah, okay.
He's a part-time lobbyist and a part-time other county employee, so. And then, I said their county commissioner was a proponent of it, so. There were, I think, about 4, maybe 5 proponents.
Were you know, the others were that were proposed?
One was just an individual, two of them are just individuals. One was, she was from Kansas Rifle Association or something. Oh, let's see, that county commissioner, and that's about it. Somebody from Americans for Prosperity.
Sounds familiar, I can't think of who's in that group. I've heard it before. Okay. Thanks for going.
That would work out, I mean, it's, gotta go back tomorrow too, but I don't guess Friday.
Matt, what do you got for us?
Got, propane from Consumers Oil at, transfer station, $596.
Fuel contracting looks pretty good right now.
Yeah, I was worried there at first, but, starting to look better all the time.
We got 4 in front of that for a while.
You know, there a couple months ago, they were saying that fuel was supposed to stay down this summer, but, it's not looking that way.
When you consider how much, you know, of course, they're getting miles in this part of the country, but usually when you have mild winds, it does have effect on all fuel.
Also, one other thing I had was, let's see, March 27th. It's on a Wednesday, the Northeast Kansas County Highway Association meeting is in, Shawnee County. I'm not sure who all wants to go to that. Didn't know if all the commissioner, usually everybody goes, but,
What's the date on that?
be it March 27th. Let's see, Norm Bowers is gonna talk, Ron Seitz with KDOT Bureau of Local Projects will be there. Randall Allen from Kansas Association of Counties will be there, and Clay Adams from KDOT will also be talking. I just need to kind of have an idea who's going to, send it in for the meal.
Is it just a day,
Yeah, yeah. Usually it wraps up right after the meal, usually.
Who's putting it on, KDOT, or?
It's, Northeast Kansas
Northeast.
County Highway Association. It's at, it's right down by, Shawnee Lake, down by Topeka, that's where it's at.
How soon do you need to know from us?
Let's see, I need to know by, March 13th.
Oh, well, you didn't pass. Yeah, we've gone, I think we've, we went to Ottawa, we were in Wamego, it was just three of us that went on.
Yeah.
I don't think I went to one last. Did they have one last year?
See, I'm trying to think where the last one was. I was thinking I had it every year, but I can't think. It seems like that's the last one I remember going to one, so.
That's the one I can't remember, it was in Wamego.
Yeah, that's the last one I remember going to.
Yeah.
Usually,
At least a couple.
usually most of the country try to go on, they have something going on. When it gets a little closer, I'll bring it up again.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
I did look at Edwards, or south of, Effingham, it is breaking up a little bit, we'll try to get better and.
Well, he's just concerned,
That's
you know,
all.
caller was just a little concerned with a few holes that were,
Yeah.
totally thought that was on this year's,
Yeah.
seal product, or programs.
Yeah, it is. We'll try to get some, I drove down through there, it isn't anything real deep, I don't think, but we'll do a little.
Everybody's definition of deep is different.
Right, yeah. All right, have a good afternoon.
Thank you. So next on the agenda is the abatements. We have a bunch of abatements to approve,
Yeah, they're in the folder.
the main one. Oh, okay. That's what we normally sign off on. So we'll skip down to resolutions. We still have one resolution, I know of the, office, yeah. Pat had it drawn up for us on Wednesday, but we wanted to wait till we got back and just review it.
It's borrowed very heavily from the earlier 1970, whatever, order.
So is this become a resolution or just an order, resolution?
It is an order. So it's, I guess, slightly less formality.
Any discussion, otherwise I would move that we would sign the order as presented to us, that refers to County Statute 192601, establishing the including hours for county offices.
I'll second that motion, Mr. Chairman.
All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Carried 3-0. Make copies you need, Pauline signed.
I just need one, I don't,
We get send a copy of that out to all department heads and like officials, so everybody has a copy of that. Just so everybody gets a copy of it, so just make sure we bring it to everybody's attention. You're late for you. Literally.
Good.
You ready for that?
Anytime.
Roger.
Roger that, Roger.
Mr. Victor.
I need to come up here.
Yeah. Where is the Victor?
I have no fancy presentation, but do you want me to tell you where the information all comes from, where I get it? And I am going to hand you an updated copy, simply because there were some of the little outline parcels that may have been miscolored, that you may not have known which district they went in. I think, yeah, I fixed it on here. These, if you look in the to the south of District 2, you're going to see some of those parcels that may not have appeared the right color, and this has them colored in with, either with District 2 or with District 3, wherever they might happen to fall. What I have done to present this information is go out onto the census website, download, let me silence my phone, download the data from the 2010 U.S. Census, take that and the voting districts that we already had loaded into our system and just join the two together. And by doing that, we got all the census blocks. If you look at the areas on the map that have numbers in them, those are the blocks, and I'm dealing with total population in that area. Now, the total population is what the 2010 census recorded as the number of people who live within that block. Now, the boxes and the lines that you see on the map, those are not actually streets. They may be streets, but they are the boundaries of the census blocks and where the U.S. Census breaks down population districts. And it's within each of those that people are registered to reside. Now, having said all of that, those numbers you see in there then are the populations within each of those. Those are not the actual populations, but they're the projected populations based on what they consider to be an 85% participation rate for our area. Okay, so they are saying with 85% of the people participating in the census, that these are the projected populations within each of those blocks. The blocks are each designated within a voting precinct that is currently available within Atchison County. And then by cross-referencing all of those, in a very, very short period of time, we were able to produce a map which breaks down into colors the different precincts, which makes it easy to see, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And then, on top of that, we could have just said what colors the districts were in, but we threw on some blue lines on there to show you where each of your district boundaries are. And so by throwing those district boundaries in, it helps you better see where the lines of delineation are between your district and the corresponding adjacent commissioner's district. Then additionally, I gave you a breakdown on another sheet, and on the sheet, each precinct is given the population represented within that precinct, and then by sorting that by commissioners, it gives you the number of population that each of you as a commissioner serve, again, projected at 85% through the 2010 census block numbers. So you'll see, and it has District 1 at 7,322, District 2 at 4,788, and District 3 at 4,536. Now, I can't tell you how to redistrict, nor can I tell you exactly what these numbers mean and whether they're good or bad or how they work to your advantage or disadvantage. But I am more than willing in any way possible with all of you to help you rearrange, work with anything any way you want, and give you back any kind of projections that you might like to see occur so that you could see just how those boundaries would work and how the population projections would work. And I will answer any other questions you have. One last thing, the rural and the urban are exactly the same information. The rural gives you the entire county, and the urban gives you the city blown up. But it should be exactly the same information. I didn't reprint the rural map because it pretty well all shows up on the urban. Okay, I'm sorry.
Well, this is terrific. Thank you for the info. This is actually info that I had talked with Tony Redden about a year ago when we were having some trouble with the Census Bureau website, so we weren't able to get it before now. KSA 19-204 is the statute that talks about redistricting. The only guidance, and it's not a lot, is that you're to divide the county into 3 commission districts as compact and equal in population as possible. And that's really all the guidance that's given. Now, we do have a number of U.S. Supreme Court cases that talk about one man, one vote, or mandate one man, one vote. And the requirement there is that, generally speaking, each vote should have approximately the same weight, and they interpreted that to mean that in a representative form of government, that there should be approximately equal numbers of residents in each district, and that's residents, not voters. We do have some Kansas cases that discuss that. In fact, down in Leavenworth, the city of Leavenworth annexed the prison and the military base that's there. And so while virtually none of those people vote in county elections or city elections, they're counted as residents. And so when they were trying to make things even between the 3 of them, they had to count those residents to make them even. And we also have, it does indicate that you're doing this essentially at the reorganizational meeting, or the organizational meeting. We do have case law that says that doing this in March or April is okay. Really, it won't matter until the next commission election anyway. It wouldn't have mattered if you had done it, in the first meeting in January. Because even if you were to rearrange the districts so that 2 of you happen to reside in the same district, you would still serve until the next election anyway. So You definitely could.
What kind of procedure, I mean, do we put forward a recommendation, do we need to have a hearing on that, or are we authorized to do?
You are doing it. You're operating in a legislative fashion here, so, you can deliberate about it and pass a resolution that divides the county into the districts.
Mhm. I think the only thought was, having just some people have the committees, review it. That's the reason why I thought it was, ultimately, we decide that, but I guess just trying to get input on how to change it, because obviously looking at the population numbers, it's the stark contrast. I mean, we could start throwing darts in the wall, but, I don't know how. Just trying to remove the political aspect out of it, I guess. That's one reason why I suggest just get some input from people outside of
If you make it more political input, if you turn it over to precinct people. I would throw out a recommendation, you guys, if you want it fairly even, if Bill is now assigned, would take South Fifth, which is part of my district, and that's contingent or joining him, and then I would take North Fifth from Jeff. You figure those numbers and see where you come out. I hate to see Jeff having that much advantage over us.
It's a lot of numbers, but like, the span of the county, you have like over 50% of the.
It's based more on one person, the voting population. What's that coming out, Roger?
I don't have the absolute numbers, let me see what we're doing here.
I can tell you pretty close.
Huh? You have the numbers already, or did you work those out already? Pat, I don't have a computer sitting in front of me.
If my math is right, that would, well, you take 1607 away from Jeff, with 7322, which leaves 5715. There are 16,646, so presumably you want 5,548 and 2/3 people in each of the districts.
How much?
5,548.67. So,
Because we can't divide precincts. You can divide townships, you can divide municipalities, but you can't divide voting precincts, is that right? That's why I read what
that's
your election laws. according to-
That's correct.
What?
That might be,
Ma'am?
this would be Bill, and this would be mine.
What about, what if we drew it up, what if, all three of us had a mixture of city and city of Atchison and out of city of Atchison? It's like Bill has probably about the most
Yeah,
balance.
other than.
Well, not in numbers, but.
Unless we go with this, and then this would throw it either way.
Yeah, that's,
Because I'd be
Well,
picking
you
up,
get people.
you have a pretty good balance, right? I mean,
45.
yeah.
I'd be picking up 1,000 up to 1,000.
You know,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, we're some of these things. Then you get people.
That's right, and you're about 1,000,
You got the precinct.
you're about 1,000 down where you want to be.
Number-wise, that would work out.
Mhm.
It going by this little thing here, it says there's 1,016 in that district. South Fifth,
Precincts, good.
yeah, 1,016. So that would work out number-wise. And then where do you propose to get twos out of? North Fifth, you said, North Fifth?
Well, they wouldn't have to be pertinent, they'd be within statutory or really within, you just go that way and you gotta just leave the precincts as such. You're within 200 or so of each, everybody, and not more than 200 difference. But we have a lot more than that right now.
I think it said it here, we got
10% is the kind of rules, but that was the simplest that I came up with without having to do any.
Well, using yours, I come up with, District 1 at 5715, District 2 at 5379, and District 3 at 5552, which is pretty close.
What was the District 1?
1 would be 5715,
Okay.
2 would be 5379, and 3 would be 5552. It gets much closer than what it is now.
Well, yeah, you're, and it saves, Paul, you know, saves you splitting up existing precincts, not that it can't be done, but it does get a little confusing. But that's just a transfer in and out, you know, that was just my thinking on it.
You know, it's probably not that important to have rural roads versus city roads. Yeah, it'd be good to make it on the rural, but if they have the numbers right, you know, if you do what's right, you're gonna get the vote. So I wouldn't have a problem with that.
There is no requirement that you have the city and county. The statute in subsection B, 19204, requires that in Shawnee County, that each district must include both incorporated and unincorporated areas of the county. That's not the requirement here. That's up to you. And Pauline, I never could find out, how long ago were these districts set?
Huh?
How long ago were the current districts set?
Well, Pat, they've been this way since I've been here 43 years.
So that would give everybody a say.
No, I'd still be, that's why I was asking, well, why don't we, can we draft up something with, like another scenario where each one of us has city, so Mike would pick up more of a chunk of city batches, and I would pick up precinct and rural, like Shannon Township, and Bill would probably have to pick up, maybe South I don't.
But you gotta know that City of Atchison falls within Shannon Township and maybe a little Mount Pleasant, and small, but most of it's in Shannon.
I mean-
Anything up in north, I mean, it's all contiguous.
Mm-hmm.
Clear over to only 4.
I know Derek Franklin was up and talked to you. He talked to me outside of the meeting. I did share with him these 2 maps, and because I had shared those with him, I gave them to Sid Jones as well.
She's not the
And
first
then
chairman
discovered that
anymore.
she's not in anymore.
Really?
So,
Liz Lane is.
it's Elizabeth Lane, and I did give her a copy of them on Friday, but I didn't really talk to her about that. I should say I gave Rex a copy of it on Friday. I don't know whether they, to what extent they want to be involved. I mean, obviously, it's your decision, but,
So how many more, I mean, I'm looking at 200.
Commissioner Rodenhouse's proposal looks like it does make things fairly even and even that-wise. It's a similar map, but, I guess my only suggestion would be to not take final action without a little more discussion.
Right, no, I think we put that out as a prime proposal, and if somebody wants to come, present it right here, if somebody wants to come up and contest it, or come up with a better suggestion without complicating things, then so be it. I wouldn't be comfortable making a resolution as fast as today without
Well, can you draft up like 3 different proposals? I know it's pretty common when you read.
Well, you
this
come up
sort
with
of
one, but I've got my proposal, I'm not changing.
stuff. Well, I'm
This
just,
is simple, this is pretty simple right here.
I know, but, I mean, if you're talking about like if you're trying to balance stuff out, I mean, it does,
Well, the numbers, all we're after is the numbers of the representation, you know, so that each district has the same number of representation, that's the key here.
I would say, if you've already spoken with Derek and probably get some input from them, I think, if you've already contacted them, I mean, I think that,
What happens if we take these 4 blocks and put them in one set, which would make it more even?
How complicated is that to you?
Well, it's only 4 blocks, it's not like 15 blocks.
How many
But
separate
Is
those
that
precincts?
changing a precinct?
we can do it after April, we can't do it now.
I misunderstood that, I thought we couldn't change.
That's what it says on
We could
this.
change the precincts ever. I mean, you can change the precincts, but
May not be divided, established by Andrews versus Suffolk County, 1971.
The Secretary of State's office says, is you shouldn't do it until after April, because you can't do it so many months before or after or something like that.
you can't change the precinct.
Right.
I see, okay.
But I'm just wondering if you could just, which would take 144 from Jeff, which would lower that down from 57 to 55 something.
What 4 blocks are you talking about?
It's these 4 blocks.
Well, it's number 39, 40, 47, and 19, which is a number of people, that's what it is.
These 4 blocks.
And I will tell you, from whatever we do, if we come up with another situation we'd like to see, it takes almost nothing for me to run you another what if and hand you a map and say, here's what it looks like. So I'm more than
What if you,
willing to do
like,
that.
you did another map, color them different? You know, like color all number 3, 1 color, call 2, 1 color, and 1 color.
Absolutely.
And later.
Actually, what we could do is we could, well, you know, we could do it so we have different shades of yellow in District 1, and then you could still see.
Lighter color, so
Yeah.
you can see the numbers.
Absolutely. I have no problem with that.
This one doesn't have the number layer.
Well, excuse me for that,
Rocket look.
at one point I turned the numbers off on that because I was actually helping Pauline submit this to someone else and she didn't want the numbers on there, if you'll remember with me, Pauline. So,
The Secretary of State.
we start using these over and over and over, so, for various different causes, and when I go back, I don't always,
You said he changed.
Oh, that's what he's talking about.
get it exactly the same. You have the one with the numbers still, though?
Mhm.
Do you?
I got it.
Okay.
I mean, that was.
Does anyone else need one with numbers?
Look at it.
Well, I got
You mean if you move this one to District 2, or something?
Bill, did you need one with numbers? Okay.
I got it.
And then north there, the distance from us.
Oh.
What do you think, 14, 4?
These 4 blocks here.
Was that 14 and 4?
Can you do a, kind of like, mark,
Yeah, well, here, mark on mine,
this is mark.
then you don't have to worry about it.
These. One forward. Into this.
Oh, okay, all right. Easy
With
enough.
those, with those numbers.
It is not gonna be difficult at all for me to do.
And you said that's 140?
Which blocks?
Well, I think it is.
Which blocks are you looking at?
47, 40, 19, and what's
Yeah,
that
oh,
one?
I think
What
it's-
is that one?
Looks like 49.
Oh, 59 or 39?
Let me look again on another copy.
Is it 39 or 59? Is that one?
It'd be 147, change would be,
Well, that would get you like.
It's 39.
yeah.
Right there. See?
It is 39.
It's up to her, I mean, I just, depend on.
Well, I would just, if you're wanting them, I mean, that would give, take 140 from,
That's
Only
close enough to
for-
my, that's close
I'm not
enough to
for
my,
sure.
that's close enough to my proposal.
So then that would leave East Third and West Second in District 1?
East Third, West Second.
Yes.
East Third and West Third, three of them.
And West Third?
Mm-hmm.
East Second, West Second, and West Third.
What now?
It would give you, it would be this, three.
East and West Third, but not East Second.
Correct. East Second still in district.
Yeah, yeah, it'd just be this and this.
They're proposing to move this
Right.
here, this.
And you know what, it'd be very easy for you to produce another map, I'm not talking very long at all.
Yeah.
Once you have the numbers,
If you can make it lighter.
West Second,
colors,
Sure.
West Third, and East Third.
Kind of
Right, but
whatever you call
you-
it.
Oh, that's gonna be up in, it's gonna go towards the top.
Suitable for frame.
Huh?
Been here, this 115.
Oh, okay.
It is one of the advantages of the GIS software, is maps like this, I probably spent an hour and a half downloading data off the census, and we probably spent less than 2.5 hours to 3 hours producing the maps for you. And the maps also got used for other reporting that we needed to do, so.
Well, that was the first thing that I just started plugging that one in first, because that would.
It certainly does go a long way.
I mean, it gets you very close, and then the contingency of existing districts, you know, without splitting it. And I guess I was thinking probably maybe more about making it simple for Pauline, that we didn't have to split our, you know, precincts and stuff, but, even if she's happy with that other 4, and that gets it even closer, then I have no problem.
Not really happy, but
Huh?
you'll have people that'll, you know,
Yeah, okay, yeah.
can't find their precincts or the polling place.
Yeah.
We could have consolidated voting places. We've got East and West Third, I think City Hall and the library are within a few blocks of each other. I mean, I've had several people inquiring about these stuff like that. East and West Third can consolidate into one spot. If we have others that are consolidating.
Where do they vote now?
We vote at the,
Second person.
Second Christian Church.
Yeah,
That's two of your larger precincts right there in the entire county.
Yeah, I haven't talked with anybody about the city, haven't heard, you know, any that say anything, but it is sure a mess to go to City Hall on election day.
I've already, in the process of changing, hopefully Methodist Church will allow me.
If you get the library, like right down the block, why not just do something with the library too? That'd make the most sense. Or move them both to that church. It just seems unusual you'd have within 2 or 3 blocks of each other.
A block away from.
Yeah.
Well, they're in separate districts,
So are West Second or West Third and East Third?
No, I mean, East Second, West Second will be separate, commission districts, so they have to have 2 ballots there.
Right,
So-
but she's saying, but what Pauline had told me is you can have, different precincts in the same building, and they just get different ballots, they get their correct stuff. You did tell me that, correct? Okay.
Okay.
She did mention to me, and I'm only reiterating this because I thought it was interesting and I wasn't used to it, but that in some cities, all of the polls are in the same location, and they just go there and give it their different precinct to do it. Didn't you make that comment to me?
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be hard, it'll be easy, but people, you know, Christians have had it, they've been voting there twice for 50 years, and that's why they won't vote.
That's true.
This is interesting. little confusing, I think. You know,
Confusing enough the way it is, I do
Well,
think it
is.
simplifies it greatly.
Just simplifies it, yeah. What would be the actual census shows 16,900 and some, and this here shows 16,600. It's got 300 discrepancies, so the reason maybe for that, or
Well,
the estimate, is that what you're?
I actually think these are the actual numbers, and we're talking about, they're talking about the percentage of participants. And so they have increased the numbers in your final number that you see reflect what they consider the percentage of people who actually participate. Okay? The best thing to do is assume an even distribution of votes. And I don't know how else to do it.
And this, you'd still get a pretty close picture.
Yeah.
Well, I would suggest you draw up Mike's suggestion, you draw up Paul's suggestion. I'll do either one of them, if you got an idea.
Well, I was just, you know, that's one of the reasons, I suggested, is there a balance, something like that, where you can do a blend of city and rural into each?
Here's the difficulty with that situation. There are only 3 townships, or 3 precincts, rural precincts, which are contiguous with the county at all. Currently, you know, District 3 has 3 of them, and all of the rest go to District 2. The problem is you have a very small, if you gave one to everybody, it really gets difficult to have the voting districts contiguous then. And I don't know what the rule is on non-contiguous districts.
Yeah, well, they're supposed to be compact, and to me, that says contiguous.
So those 4 lots we're talking about, would be right up there north, a couple lots. And I would go further up.
No, that'd be Mike's.
Well, it's me.
Oh, that would go.
Well, that'd be District
I mean,
2.
if you would trade south with and north with,
I see what you're saying.
Here is where they are. They're between Riley and Division,
Mhm.
between 10th and 12th.
Mhm.
Those are the 4 blocks. Correct?
yeah, Riley, yeah.
That was kind of square that.
Mhm.
Well, it does make the numbers even more even. It's not wrong. State keeps trying to pass laws and just ready to turn the county over to them. Tie our hands, they can just fund everything and figure out how to do it.
I think they're only gonna do the management part, not the funding part.
Well, the numbers.
I reviewed, I had to go down to Texas this morning.
Did you? How did it go?
About 4 times as many, 3-4 times as many opponents as there were profiles. They said they never had that, they normally don't have a large group, but this is by far the largest group that committee's ever witnessed. There's a lot of, because it's so vague, the ruling is so vague, what is public funding? I can tie that into my dairy association. Dairymen get, at certain times, milk price drops too low, they'll get a federal subsidy, that's public funds. So can we not use now, if dairymen contribute to hire this lobby, can they do that? There are other entities that may only get a small government subsidy, you know, minute. Is that gonna eliminate them from hiring lobbyists? I'd still like to know what you consider a lobbyist.
That's the bill they were talking about that was, like, the county couldn't pay in,
Counties, municipalities, school boards,
pay in any public
anybody
money
that
to
receives
pay
any kind of
fee
public
or
funding.
anybody
No
that-
public funds to lobby.
They drew it up Friday, late Friday, and decided to have a hearing first thing this morning.
I think maybe I'd suggest setting up a time in, the middle of March or something and giving notice that you're going to consider it then, right?
If we got that one particular piece, you know, is there, you know, do we need to do it? Do we need to, it has, her suggestion, changing those 4 blocks doesn't have any bearing upon us. We can go ahead and include that this time, that has no bearing upon April election.
Right. Right, well, we would adopt it until after.
Until after the election. Okay.
You'd still be okay to do that.
Let's say we have ours wrapped up, a couple different things, and take a look at it and then go from there.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thanks, Roger.
And I guess, are we gonna set a date for that? And you want to invite other people to submit proposals ahead of that time, so we don't have it that day, people, well, here's my proposal, and I'm really not gonna get fair consideration. If they just bring it that day, we don't really have it ahead of time. And did you want me to do something contacting the Republican and Democratic committee people to see if they wanted to just invite each other? I'm looking for direction here, not trying, we just invite each of them to submit a proposal, maybe, and they could.
Well, I want to make sure that there's a majority of the precinct people that show up.
I think you just under the chair, I think you just under the chair of each.
I was just suggesting to the, to tell each of the parties to submit a proposal. They could.
Yeah, but we're gonna have to final say that, yeah, that they can, they can make a proposal, yeah.
And do we want to set a date for them, for the proposals to be here?
Depends if they're staggered or.
Well, I think we'll have time to review, so maybe March the first part of March or something about it. We're discussing redistricting as well on maps. We've got a couple proposals right now.
Do you want those,
I suggest
do you want their proposals available
Well,
to people so that
we
they
have
aren't trying to
Yeah.
do it without that knowledge? Okay,
Yeah,
all right, well, I will get that copy to you.
Maybe we could even get these maps that we have online and the other proposals online too, so
Sure.
people can look at it.
What date?
You can get it online, looks like, maybe not March
Like,
first.
we have to, maybe you won't be here.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to talk. Well, 18.
They have to think that.
March 18?
So they're to have them in by March 18th.
Yeah, hopefully we'd have stuff before then, I think. That'd be the hearing date, right? So you're talking about that, the hearing date?
Well, I don't know
Or
that
when
it's
you
really
call it
here,
hearing day, you just call it a
Submission.
submission.
just a discussion.
Yeah, discussion.
Discussion.
Okay.
It's not, we're not really required to have a hearing.
Any certain time, Tuesday?
Well,
Well, what time are we gonna meet in March? Go on the late schedule. Well, more than that, even if we go to that, think about doing it one day, it could be an afternoon, anyway.
2:30 would be fine.
Yes, it's fine,
And what time?
2:30.
30? On March 18th?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, are you guys gonna have your proposal online, posted online before then? Did I hear
We
somebody
will.
say March,
Mhm.
by March 1st?
It may be on sooner than that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
March 1st at the
And
latest.
it's, one of them is kind of my proposal, and the others a suggestion, just a slight variation of that, so.
Okay.
It's not actually a commission proposal at this point, so. Have you got any of that stuff now?
I have, it's something that was from the other day.
Okay.
And I guess, is it the way they are, right?
Yeah.
In real time?
Do you have the numbers?
She has the numbers on there.
Well, no, you
No,
have,
he's talking
you have this sheet, it tells how many numbers.
I gave it that sheet.
Okay, all right. That corresponds, that's what we're working on.
That's the vote house proposal, with this and this one, and this and this one. And then all in suggested moving these 4 blocks into north there.
Okay.
To get that even numbers as well.
Getting closer to moving upstairs, or where are we at with? We're getting closer to getting Roger upstairs in an office.
I have my stuff sitting here.
Okay, I will get with Wes and make sure.
Yeah. Well, I think the new IT tech's starting in about 2 weeks or something, so.
Will it start in 2 weeks?
Yeah, IT tech, the new IT.
Oh.
I think starting in the next couple of weeks, I believe, so.
Good. Well, if you need anything else, let me know. Yes, sir.
Thanks, Roger.
I will get you something that you do.
Great, thank you.
Okay, and you said Pauline suggested the 4 blocks into 2?
Well, yeah, in the north bid.
Oh, okay.
It just squares it off in that, so when you do the numbers, it'll make them almost all identical. This proposal, Jeff will have about 57, I'll have about 54, Bill will have 55, but this will even it out a little
Yeah.
closer to.
I called option 1 and option 2, but I went to cut it.
Option 3, 4, 5, and 6 is still out there.
Well, I come up with option 2, but.
Okay, about 55
Yeah,
would be in,
approximately, Bill, and Vista in 3, 54, the proposal 1 will give you about 54, 55, 57, roughly, rounded figures.
okay, 57 would be in first district.
First district.
You want exact 5715?
Well,
She'll do, hey, she went down there, she'll do her math there, she's got the sheet.
that's okay. 55.
You sure have.
Would be in
3,
3, okay,
54 and 2.
okay. Yeah, I noticed that they were kind of lopsided.
Yeah, I just would have never dreamed that they would go that.
Yeah, it is 40-some years.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, well, you gotta remember, I mean, the rural population has drastically, and then with annexation too, I mean, you get a combination of both of those things, and, you know, it's, I can see why it's got that far out of proportion, so.
Cell phone usage.
Oh, but here's, that.
Oh, this is it.
I didn't see law enforcement, but I was the only one that.
Here.
This is who we pay
No,
now,
no.
and, but I don't have any, I don't have anything from last law enforcement and county.
What I didn't understand was maintenance about the case. That's still his own phone, I guess that was kinda, what's everybody else, what's some of the other departments do? I mean, it's still your own equipment. Something about replacing like a case, I think?
He said he had to replace it 3 times,
Who is?
maintenance.
Big Joe, wasn't it?
Mhm.
Okay.
But I'd say you're only paying for the benefit of using the phone, not.
Yeah, we're not doing the actual equipment, otherwise that gets into a whole different area. I guess I didn't really understand that response, so I guess it was. Obviously, if it's broken 3 times, you need to get a different type of case.
Need to be more careful.
Yeah. I guess we get law enforcement and appraisers back, I guess. This is she sent out an email to see like, what's the current update, like as far as, and we haven't gotten those.
And that's, I mean, I just put it on the back of that one that might
Yeah.
have.
She's got
Responses.
some responses.
Yeah, and Fraser and law enforcement didn't have a response, that's the reason why, yeah, I got,
You got it there?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe Bill can see
you
it.
see those. It was on the, agenda.
What's a typical texting package for us?
Depends, most people, if they're doing on this, I'm guessing they probably got a data package, would be my assumption, that's what they're
Which
probably.
includes the internet.
Usually now, texting is in with your
Your data.
phone now.
Yeah.
Well, data, yeah, but it's,
What's a typical plan? Right, I don't know about other carriers, but like 70 something, AT&T, unlimited, data package, phone,
yeah.
74, I'm thinking like 74 or something, between 70 and 80, I don't know what the other carriers charge, so.
You're pretty close.
Should be in that range. I would think anything, what, Cedar Village has reimbursement, I think that would be pretty sufficient as a top tier, if that's where we're gonna go. Cause not everybody that's on these lists are gonna be like a top tier or tier 1, or whatever you wanna call it.
Well, my question is, how many departments truly need the data? I mean, access.
And that's why Pauline sent out all those responses you saw, that's what we're trying to get a grasp on.
Well, I want to hear justification. I mean,
I
how
would
much
too, just
easier
because
is
they
it?
got it.
What's that?
I would too, just because they got it now. Doesn't mean they need it.
I mean, we've got computers in about every office. And now you remember you're talking, I have never used one of them cell phones with all them apps, so I'm probably not, I'm sure not speaking with any authority in here, but I'm just cautious that it's easier to ease into a policy rather than to jump in and then realize you're too deep and then try to take away. $20, because that's actually what the association I work for, they give me $20 a month. Just, it actually added unlimited minutes to my phone. And my wife liked texting, so I bought that for her, so that saved me on minutes actually.
Mm.
How do, if we get into this, is this gonna be, does those reimbursements come out of contractual line, or how, is that what they come out of?
Because they are, we pay them through payroll, we have to take taxes.
To do what?
We have to take taxes out of them.
Oh, you have to take taxes out of that.
Cell phones are considered fringe? I don't know about that. I don't know of any company that charges for cell phone reimbursement. At least that I've never heard of. Is it different than like private versus public sector?
I don't know. I can work on the.
Now you're getting a whole new realm.
I mean, when the IRS came in to do our audit, that was one of the things. At one time, we had a cell phone plan where we were paying them. We were buying the phones plus the service. And they said we couldn't do that, so we could pay so much a month, but it would have to be taxable. But we might have changed since then too.
Well, I would say that, yeah, the IRS law is not gonna be inconvenient. Because you already have to report if you don't have health, if you're getting a compensation for health insurance, you have to report that as a benefit. And you're taxed on that.
We should ask the auditor on that.
Well, no, you shouldn't. You should.
Mhm.
You know, I bet it's addressed in that 90-page IRS summary.
Mhm.
Well, these are all the employees in community corrections. Or is it more, it's just the five that's receiving compensation?
Mhm. That might be your way, yeah.
Most of these other departments just, have 2 or 3 key people. Like in service, for law enforcement, 100% behind having cell phones and alternative. I don't have a problem with all those having that, but some of these departments, I think, I'm not sure every one department necessarily. Now, they got good justification, I'm willing to listen.
if we hear back from the other departments, I mean, would have thought 2 or 3 times, trying to notify them. We get an updated list.
We still gonna put them like tier 1, tier 2, and 1 tier more, or?
I would think 2 tiers on this.
I think you should at least have that, because it's, not everybody's gonna be using the same level, not everybody's gonna be the same level as the other. Hopefully we can hear back from those last few departments, especially like law enforcement.
Send them another email.
Last chance if you want to be concluded.
Yeah.
Has anybody informed you of Senate Bill 109? We went there and testified on that today. I did.
No, that's it, Emily.
No, this had to do with, public funds for, like, joining an organization, you know, like municipalities, school boards, whatever.
Oh, on that union issue with the.
No, that's different.
For lobbying.
That's different.
For lobbying.
This,
You
yes,
cannot use-
specifically, they were trying to get down lobbying, but basically it may entail that you can't even belong to an association to use for education, or it really draws the line. We use KAC for legal, for state legal advice, we use it for seminars, we use it for a lot of things, but this revised their statutes could not even explain. When they asked you, it was really embarrassing.
Well, you could use it, but use the public funds is what we're.
Yeah, but he couldn't even exactly describe what public funds were gonna be defined as. And
Oh, would that be impermissible for you to go down and testify?
technically, most of us, if you
No, for you
would.
as a county commissioner, you're being paid by the county.
Right, am I on the clock then? I mean, I'm not full-time, but am I on the clock? That's the question. Several of them brought up that under this law, it would be at somebody's discretion to decide whether you was doing a misdemeanor or not, coming down there and testifying. Same with like a city manager or something like that. I mean, somehow you'd have to dismiss yourself from being an employee that day or whatever, and go down personally, so. It's really screwed, I mean, well, there are a lot of people brought up some good points, just so many gray areas that, I mean, it could involve, like I said, it could involve any organization that may receive, or body of people that receive a subsidy, some kind of government subsidy, that's public funds. They could not belong to an organization that had any kind of lobbying influence or whatever at the state house. Now, private individuals, you take big private companies, it's free to go that way, so you see where we stand.
They're probably exclude like a lot of legislators. There's probably a ton of legislators that are probably involved in different associations, I'm sure.
No, it could be,
Think about how many, are farmers that are legislators.
yeah,
Well, Jerry Henry covers that human services.
right, he receives government. You know, where that would draw me as an actual employee, you know, he's, or an actual state representative. It's interesting. There was a lot of lobbyists there because even though they may not represent a county municipality, they represent organizations that receive some kind of maybe just a small amount of federal funding for some reason, and it would affect them having a voice. The guy that does the lobbying for a dairy association, he was there. He represents about 5 or 6 different companies. He said there's 2 or 3 of them he represents that get some kind of a indirect or public fund of some sort. And it would jeopardize or question the validity or legality of that, so. It's interesting. I think the key point a lot of them brought up was is that's something that the local people make, if that is an issue with the local voters, and they make it an issue, and that's how you let, make that part of your election process.
Is there about scheduling another hearing or at the end?
No, it'll either die or else they'll proceed on with it. There's three of the senators weren't there.
Really?
Well, Dennis Cloud,
He's the chairman.
He's the chairman.
He's the chairman. It's called Taxation, Ethics, and Global Government.
Who's he for? Oh, you don't know him before.
No, he did a nice job. I mean, they were very congenial. I mean, it was conducted very well. I probably assumed that he probably leaned towards it. I don't know. Kansas Associated School Boards testifying, municipalities, Chamber of Commerce's. So it's a pretty good representation.
The chambers, oh, they would probably be against that, wouldn't they?
Well, now, Kyle announced that the Topeka Chamber of Commerce was a proponent of it, but somebody announced later, please correct the record, that Topeka Chamber of Commerce is an opponent. They opposed, so I didn't see the document, I didn't see the written testimony, so they had written testimony. Overland Park Chamber of Commerce was there, they testified against it, so.
Okay, do you have anything for us?
No. Well, yeah, actually, I think maybe a 10-minute executive session with attorney-client.
Entertain a motion to go into executive session, attorney-client privilege for, you said 10 minutes? So, coming out at
3:30.
3:30.
Move.
Second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
So just